Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 4GQ Hopefully, there's no hiccups today and everything is going smooth and no issues. We are live with another episode. We couldn't play Jedi Survivor only because it didn't release in Belgium early. We had some confusion. So, we're going to play The Last Case of Benedict Fox. Thanks to Paul, he's going to show off different portions of the game and accessibility. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this gameplay as we talk. We are playing live as we talk, actually. This is the second episode in a row that we've done that. And today on the panel, we see the return of the one, the only, the super energetic, the ever amazing, super positive, Cozy Beluga. Yes. And below Cozy, we have the ever extravagant, super excited, one and only, candy bowl connoisseur, goblin of the chocolates, and the troll of the licorice, Flamish, the Belgian sensation across the nation. Nice. And below him, we have the super chipper, ever dipper, the rare Pokemon in the wild, who might look like a pineapple, maybe not, Celebrity Pineapple Paw. Uh-oh. Guys, you won't believe what I did. You won't believe what I did.
What'd you did?
I had your guys' audio muted by accident.
You're kidding.
Yeah, let's start again.
Hey. All right, so I don't mean to start again. All right, so let me try to get through this quick. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Charlie Hustle. Thank you for coming to the chat. You're bearing with us some technical difficulties, but it's never not a 4GQ episode unless something goes sideways, and that's okay.
And we start late.
Well, 6:45 is now on time, so by the time we get the camera boxes set up. So anyway, we have the one, the only return of the ever amazing, super chipper, super positive, Cozy Beluga.
I'm sorry. Hey. Hi.
She has acknowledged.
That's it. That's all we're getting from Cozy.
Yeah, Cozy's like, I already did this once. You're not getting out of it again.
It's like, yeah, I'm here. That's it. That's all you get.
Oh, it's just funny because I was like, I put my energy into the first time, and now I have to pee.
Yeah.
Well, that's special.
Serious stuff going on. Well, we also have the one, the only Belgian sensation across the nation, the goblin of the chocolates, and the troll of the licorice, who's ever finding his candy bowl like a golden rainbow leprechaun. It's Flamish!
Hey. Yeah, today we got some awesome gameplay by Paul, going over a game from Game Pass because we couldn't get Jedi Survivors on time, apparently. It released later than we thought. Besides that, it's gonna be an awesome show. Good topics. See you there.
Nice. And then we have the ever chipper, one and only super rare Pokemon Pineapple Celebrity Paul.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm here. You can see I'm already playing and already dying a lot. I mean, I haven't died yet, but it's going to come. I can already tell because the controls from me are a little not easy. But that's all right. We're going to have some fun, have some good discussion while I probably die a lot. So there you go.
And then we have the return of the amazing Brit, the one who speaks the proper King's English. And you won't ever find him at a pub because he's always at home gaming, working, or drinking real British tea. Animated Evil.
See, we call it real British tea. It's fruity tea. It's not proper British tea. But hello.
Oh, it's
Do you
not
know what's
Tetley's?
great?
Ah, if the Queen was still alive,
No,
she'd be upset.
we don't do that. Well, she'd be fine. Do you know what? Hello, everyone. I'm just happy to be here as always. Apparently, there's some topics we've got to talk about. Looking forward to them. I'm going to have to wing it because I've not read them. Been busy, but do you know what? It's going to be good. Looking forward to it. Feeling all energetic and everything. So here we go.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Hey, I just noticed you cut off all my branding on my screen. I don't like you anymore.
I brought up the gameplay. I had to bring up the gameplay.
Uh-huh.
No, that's what I always do. I did Flamish too. I did the same way. You see last week?
Cut off my branding. By the way, I'm Cerebral Paul for those who aren't paying attention. It would be on the screen there, but hey, that's fine. No, I'm kidding.
Celebrity
The
Paul.
game looks great, though. I got to say the game looks great. Okay, I'm done.
All right, so let's get the biggest, craziest topic out of the way that everybody's been talking about. And I want to talk with you guys on the panel. And Cozy, you're probably going to hear this 1,000 times this week or next week, whatever. But we all want this topic to go away, I think, at this point as gamers.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Cozy's,
Please. Yes,
Cozy's
please.
We all want this to go away. So the CMA in the UK decided to block the Activision Blizzard deal based on the concerns of the future of cloud gaming and the competition of cloud gaming, and they think that Microsoft would have a leverage on it. Now, some were surprised, many were not. I was one of the surprised ones. However, it seems like information's coming out, according to what we've seen on Twitter from Bobby Kotick, thanks to Mike Wallace, NLG, fellow Gamers United Guild guy who shared something. He said that Lina Khan had met with CMA regulators about a week prior to their decision in the United States. Now, I don't know about UK politics. That may be the norm for UK or Europe. But in America, when you have ongoing litigation, it's ethically and morally wrong, and it could land you in some hot water in the United States. Maybe as part of the reason why she was grilled by Congress. Who knows? But I wonder how the United States is going to approach this, because Lina Khan has built herself a platform where she appears to be innocent, where she appears to be for the people, and she appears to be benevolent in her idea of justice. But now that there's a cloud around that says, well, you might be doing things a little bit shady behind the scenes. We don't know. And then on the flip side of that, people are saying that since Microsoft is a vital, important part of the infrastructure in the UK, that there could potentially, according to Florian, I believe from False Pens, he read the documentation and he claims that there could be a loophole where the government has the right of jurisdiction if, in fact, it has something to do with the infrastructure of the UK, and they could potentially intervene over the CMA. Otherwise, the standard procedure would be it would have to go to the CAT trials. I believe, I forget what the actual term of CAT is in England, but it would have to go there. They wouldn't necessarily overturn the CMA's decision. Their process would be more like, please reassess the situation and form a conclusion again. And then whatever they decided would be that. So, as we are speaking, I'd like to welcome PKX Live Entertainment to the show. PK?
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late.
Hi.
No worries.
What's up, Cozy?
ABK?
Second, this is what happens when we actually start on time and only a little bit late, not like a lot, so.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mhm.
We're good.
So, Cozy,
Yes.
I'm going to go to you first, because I don't know if you have the least or the most to say.
Okay. What's the first frame of this question?
Pineapples.
No, PK, don't.
Pineapples.
Don't derail. No. How do you feel about the CMA blocking the Microsoft acquisition? Do you also feel, in any sense, shape, or form, that Lina Khan overstepped her boundaries by meeting with UK regulators prior to their decision? And do you feel any possibility that the guy from False Patents could be correct and there could be a loophole where the UK government could intervene, since Microsoft is vital to the infrastructure of the UK?
I think there possibly is a loophole. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of loopholes. I don't really necessarily. I mean, I don't know the legal system of the UK, and I don't have any great business insight into the goings on. So I can see these companies. That's what a lot of what they're going to try and do is find loopholes and ways around things. But I think, as far as the CMA's findings, on one hand, Microsoft is a huge company with huge infrastructure for cloud, but they weren't first. They were just more dedicated. They put more energy, and you get better results when you try to keep at it. Like, I've used the PlayStation's cloud services. I've used Stadia. I've tried GeForce Now. The big problem is, I mean, a lot of these services, it's an afterthought to them. So you get growth by, pushing. And if you're not pushing, you're not going to get people into your services. So a lot of, the whole, this idea that, monopolizing the cloud, other people, they have cloud options. They're just not concerned with it in the same way that Microsoft is. I mean, Google could have kept up Stadia. They had the money to. They just, wasn't panning out for them. And like most projects that don't pan out for them in like 3-ish years, they toss it aside like a toy that a kid doesn't want anymore. So I understand the CMA's findings. I do not necessarily agree, because a lot of times you end up with a great lead by keep pushing a thing. And so other companies that have cloud infrastructure are more than welcome to keep pushing it. And I, as someone who loves gaming on the cloud, loves the concept of it and everything, it's actually kind of frustrating to see not a lot of companies pushing it. That's my say.
Fair. That's very fair. Flamish, the Candyman.
Yeah.
How do you feel
About this whole thing that's going on for months now? That everybody just keeps on talking
Try
about.
Try years.
I just wanted to stop. Like, I'm just a gamer. I'm here to enjoy my games, right? I'm not really into all this stuff, the politics and the merger and stuff. I just want a game. That's all. Like, I don't really. If it goes down, it goes down. If it doesn't go down, it doesn't go down. I don't see the ramifications. I don't know enough about all this stuff. That just, like, as a consumer, for me, it's just about the games and what I want, right? And I just want this to be over. But except that the games will still be coming. I will still be gaming. I will still. There will still be new games releasing. So yeah, I'm just outside of the scope of this whole conversation. I just don't want to read into it. I'll just see when the decision goes through. Like, if they, like, I've seen there's gonna be probably an appeal now because it didn't went through with the CMA or something. But like I said, I'm not entirely into the thing. It's also more American law than anything else, and it's all very confusing to me. Yeah, I just want the game. That's all. I just wanted it gets close to me. Done.
No, I mean that's fair. No, I agree. That's fair. You know, people are tired of it, man. You know, they want this thing over with. They want it to either pass or just go away.
For me, it's not necessarily that clowns. Like, just as a gamer, I don't even have no involvement in this. I will almost see no ramifications of this entire thing, except when if Xbox gets the thing, most of them the games will come into Game Pass, right? The service. So that's basically positive for me. Besides that, I don't see any ramifications. So I mean, that's the only thing I'm maybe hoping for with this whole deal. If it goes through, if it doesn't go through, okay, then it stays how it is. There's nothing gonna change then, how it is now. So we'll see.
Paul,
Yo.
how do you feel about this whole CMA stuff?
Well, I think, one, aside from what he said there, I also saw, I don't know if it's been verified, but apparently they do have an out if they decide that if Microsoft was to put in writing that they wouldn't raise the price of Game Pass, they could reverse their decision and the deal could go through. I don't know how true that report is. I just saw it a little while ago. I still think the deal should go through. I think it should end and it should end correctly. But I think, Carlo, you shared a link that said we could be going through this for another 3 years because they'll take it to court and they'll, then it's got to go back to the CMA. And then, I don't agree with the reasonings they made. It really didn't make sense. Somebody pointed out that NVIDIA has, millions of people on their quote cloud service, and the whole fight here at this point doesn't make sense. Whether or not Lina is saying, or not Lina, but Khan is saying that they didn't discuss any of the deals when she was talking to the UK people. I find that hard to believe. We were just having tea, drinking coffee, talking about family, and that's it. We didn't talk about any of the business stuff.
Absolute shit.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how much I believe that. So, but I do wish it would. I gotta say, I wish it would be over. At this point, I'd rather it go through, but at this point, if it's not going to go through, let's get it over with. I understand why Microsoft is continuing to fight. I don't agree with they should just stop trying and just give up and spend the money elsewhere. I don't agree with that. I think if the deal's not going to go through, let it not go through for the right reason, not for
I mean,
not for
that's fair.
Some made up stuff. Let's see.
No,
so that's my take on it.
I agree with you there. Like, if there's a real legitimate concern, right?
Yeah.
Make that be known. Don't come up with this stuff afterwards. First, they were worried about console stuff, and now the whole new report is like, no, we're not worried about the console stuff. We're worried about the cloud gaming. Seems like that was a complete flip, but I could be wrong. I mean, chat, correct me. But Animated, you are a member of the Prime.
Yeah. It's all my fault, right?
No.
Now we know why Animated hasn't been around. He's been at those late night CMA meetings.
Told them not to bother. No, but go on, Carlo. What are you going to say, Carlo? Go on.
I was going to say, you've been working with Sherlock Holmes every now and then to break some cases. So, how do you feel about this, Animated?
Do you know what? I was hoping we were going to be the only people this week not to talk about it, but because it's fresh, why not? Let's do it. So we're going to talk about this once and once only.
Yes.
Because I, like everybody else, I'm sick of hearing about this deal.
Then it's
been done to death. Of course, we're sick,
destroy
right?
your government. Go destroy them.
No, PK, you can't say that stuff.
I'm not Guy Fawkes. I won't try and blow Parliament up. I promise I won't try and do that, right? We tried that once. It failed. We celebrate it every year.
Not even
with
a big old turd
but
on the desk.
Oh, wow. PK.
We tried it once. We failed. We celebrate it. It's all good. However, there is some interesting takes from the whole conversations that have gone on over the last couple of days. I'm going to give that. So, although I am sick of this whole ABK deal, is it going to go? Is it not going to go? Yes. So, do this once and once only. It's been interesting when we get what's his face called Brad Smith from Microsoft. He come on and he basically got interviewed by the BBC News and said how he was disappointed, how the company themselves were disappointed that this has happened. That he did bring up quite a lot of valid points. We rely on Microsoft for security, that kind of thing. If they pull out, we're screwed. It seems to me that our government is now becoming a laughingstock because guess what? We're patsies to say that we've been told you better deny this by somebody. In my opinion, that's just my little opinion, right? Yeah. It's really kind of embarrassing that it's us that have done it because who are we? We're a tiny little island and we've gone, no, you're not doing this, Microsoft. It's just it's embarrassing if anything else, in my opinion, because we need that business to go through. Supply jobs for game developers, that kind of thing. We need that in our country. Our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, said he wants us to be the second Silicon Valley. We're not going to do that if we're going to say no to these big deals that are going to come into the country and stuff. We want to focus on technology and this, that, and the other. There was a big speech about it from the government. And then a section of the government have gone, no, we're not interested, thanks. I think it'll be over to... That's essentially what's happened. Got one portion of our government saying, we need these big tech giants to come in and be within our country and, we're going to try and develop these things going forward. Another section of the government have gone, nah, we can't be asked for that shit, off your pop. It's just not racist. That's exactly how it looks, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I was going to say, I don't know how many people remember, but even at the beginning, the CMA kind of looked unprofessional in some of the tweets and stuff that they sent out when all this started to, when the deal started to come through. And some of the tweets, it was like, we were all asking, okay, who's writing these tweets? Because somebody pointed out, it looks like some intern, some 18-year-old intern is writing some of these. One of them, wasn't it one of them that even said something about, that it made it sound like they had a PS4, they had a PlayStation, and it was going to affect them directly. It's like, yeah, you're not supposed to do that in a professional.
Of course you're not. No, it does smacks of unprofessionality. To be fair,
yeah.
I mean, it goes against everything our government's trying to do. Mm-hmm. Decision.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, you mentioned. I remember you mentioning the price. And I was confused by that because Microsoft, the raising of the price, I don't see how that is... I mean, it's an issue for consumers, but they have one of the cheapest options. And so I don't understand how that could be an issue.
Because they're saying that after this, they could raise the price to whatever they want and price people out. And the thing is, we all know Microsoft isn't about pricing people out of Game Pass. That would be stupid on their part.
Yes, they would lose so much. Yeah, and especially if they're trying to get into third world countries and become a big market in Africa, if they try to price people out, it would just turn the service off for so many people.
Yep.
Before I let Pete K go loose on this, because I know he's probably going to get crazy on this topic.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I know you got a lot to say in this.
You have a lot of assumptions.
Oh, I know you got a lot. But one thing I want to say that Animated kind of brought up here is that the UK wants to be kind of like the second Silicon Valley to California. And I used to be an analyst at Berkshire Hathaway, so I looked at some numbers, some things I was very curious about. So the last report I saw on the internet for the UK's GDP was 3.13 trillion. California GDP beats Britain's GDP, right? And Britain's GDP is made up of about 52% of services in the tech industry. Microsoft alone, with just third-party partners that are licensed by Microsoft or certified by Microsoft, make up about $9 billion of the UK's economy. That's just third-party partners. That's not even Microsoft themselves. And the UK... on their Microsoft Enterprise contract for the government, only spends $291 million. For their Azure services and cloud services for the UK government, they only pay $20 million, right? That is so cheap. When I hear a lot of people talk to me on Twitter and they say, well, Microsoft can't afford to pull out of the UK. They could never do it. They can't afford it because the UK gives them so much money.
They certainly can.
Oh, they could, because the UK does not even pay close as much as the United States, probably not as much as Canada or South America combined, and not as close to the EU. And if they're trying to get into, let's say, bigger countries like Africa, like continents like Africa or Asia, and they can slowly grow there, those economies would, if they began to trust Microsoft, would pay more as well, right? Like Animated said, the UK is a small little island. Now, I'm not saying Microsoft's going to pull out, because they would have to deal with PR issues. They would have to deal with branding issues. Not saying that they would, but I'm saying that financially, they could afford to, and it would not hurt their bottom line in the dollar sense.
I will say, like, I've seen this in a tweet right now, actually, that apparently the government from the UK says that the CMA is actually an unelected independent body separate from the government.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
That means the CMA has jurisdiction that the government doesn't usually intervene in. So unless that loophole is correct that false patents talked about, the government would not get involved at all. So we'll have to see if that loophole truly exists, because my Twitter DMs were inundated by lawyers or people that are lawyers in the UK that claim that there is no loophole. So we'll have to see. But Microsoft's got a lot of money. They have all the time in the world. And $70 billion is probably worth more than the UK government gives Microsoft. So that's just my piece on that, to answer that.
70 billion, you mean?
I said 70 billion.
Thing is, though, what you have to remember is back in the day of the deal was made, don't they have, if the deal falls through, don't Microsoft have to pay $3 billion to Activision anyway if it falls through?
Yes.
Yeah,
Something along those lines, right?
I think it was 4, actually. I think it was actually
No idea.
3 or 4, something like that, right? So they're going to throw some money into court to say, we've got to get this through. They're going to be willing to say, do you know what? If it's going to cost us 150 million, get this through court, they're going to pay it.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to want to use that 3/4 billion just for it falling through. They're not going to want to lose that.
They could.
No business. They could afford it, agreed, but no business wants to say, do you know what? We're going to give up that many billion. They're going to fight it, no matter what.
Yeah. They're going to look for every loophole they can in any UK legislation to fight this. I mean, they got lawyers probably combing UK law right now as we speak. But
they're working overtime probably.
But I do think Anime has a point there, and I do think in the worst case scenario, I could see Microsoft paying that $4 billion to Activision and then renegotiating the contract and not caring about what the CMA has to say. Take the CMA as out of part of the provisions again and deal passed. I mean, they could essentially do that. I'm not saying they would, but they could. PK, I'm going to let you loose. I know that you're probably going to be on fire. So let's go. Let's go, PK.
I have nothing to say.
That's the first. Awesome.
I think PK is not telling us the truth.
No, I think you said everything you needed to say, and the PK just can't add anything.
Hey, listen, everybody watching, let me tell you, I had a long day, but it made me smile when I seen 2 trailers.
Wait, what?
This is off topic.
Oh, man.
This is off topic. Hey, listen, somebody needs a break. You guys are talking about the ABK and all the side deals and everything. Let me just say this, man. Let me just say this. Anime, don't get offended.
Thank you so much, Hero, for the subscription. We went back
went
back on Twitch. I decided to go back on Twitch.
I am not going to get offended, brother. Come on.
Let me tell you something. I love animated. But I'm going to tell you, whatever Ryan is doing for those favors, they're definitely something that you do behind doors.
Wow.
Okay, and it definitely involves some baby oil.
Oh man,
And
PK.
hey, listen.
He is going there, isn't he?
Hey, listen. He doing what he got to do. All right. They know they can't win in the U.S. All right, they can't. So they trying to push it through in this little bitty country that ain't doing nothing for nobody else in the whole world. They don't even look after their own people. Kind of like the U.S. Only difference is they just have more money. But let's just go in. Like, I know everybody's confused. All they have to do is give them the concessions they ask for the console stuff, and this just don't offer the cloud stuff. Let's be real. The only people that get on the cloud is the ones that are subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate. That's not Game Pass itself. That's Ultimate. Remember that. So they could just not offer Game Pass Ultimate, or don't offer Game Pass in the UK. And just meet all the other concessions and then push the damn thing through. Because if they have no problem with everything else, then they could just separate it. Okay, that's fine.
And that's one of the things I've seen that's possible. Yeah, so
if I'm losing Game Pass, I'm leaving, right? I'm leaving the UK. If UK doesn't have Game Pass, I'm out. I'm done.
Hey, listen. I'll
go and live with a friend in Europe. I'm good.
Let me tell you something, Animated. You with your accent will go a long way over here in the US, buddy. Bring your ass on.
I know. We've discussed this, yeah.
You bring your ass over here and you won't have no issue. Right?
I'm sure I'd be fine, right?
You wouldn't even be talking about this. What are you talking about? I ain't never losing no Game Pass. This is the US. We ain't having that over here.
You just VPN over to Belgium or somewhere in Europe. Just buy it through them.
Let me just tell you something, okay? Ain't nobody worried about this deal.
I'm sure Flamish has got a spare bedroom. I'll go live in Belgium with Flamish.
There you go.
I would not recommend that. What? I hear that people that go over there don't come back the same. So you might.
Do you know why, BK? Do you know why they don't come back the same?
I don't want to know.
It's the Belgium hospitality, man.
I don't want to know.
The Belgium hospitality.
Okay, well, you can keep it in there in that little B circle over there. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. No one's worrying about this deal. Okay, the only reason we're talking about it because they had to find the most pettiest thing to say no with, right? But with that same petty and weak ass argument, that's why it's gonna go through, because they have no other leg to stand on. So if that's the case, you just pivot, change the rule. And then after that, then what? All I'm saying is we can move on, man. It's just corny because we all know what it is and we all know how petty this sounds. Everybody do, and we don't even have to go in on it. Everybody with eyes and ears can intelligently know these dudes are being petty, trying their best to blocks, to throw punches and walls into something that it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Let me just be real. Clown said everything correct. Microsoft could pull out, but why would they? Why not stay and just show them how savvy they are by using their own laws and rules and work around them? How about show them how pathetic they are by just not taking Game Pass away and still pushing the deal through, and let the UK people rise up and lay turds across their table and the floors.
Oh, wow.
Until they change their mind.
That's a picture.
All I'm saying is not regular turds, hot turds. The hot.
Oh man.
You put them in a bag.
PK's off the wall today.
You get some.
Light them on fire.
You get some. You get some. What's those big firecrackers they used to throw in the toilets to blow them up?
Oh, the M80s.
Yeah.
The cherry bombs. Yeah.
You put them in there, and then there you go. Then they gonna know how it feels to have shit everywhere. How about that? And listen, it's all good at the end of the day because gamers is gonna. This is a different world than some of the old guard who don't play video games. You got a very vocal crowd and a very strong crowd who it's like taking away their favorite thing. Oh, you ain't got my attention, but now you got it now. You got it now, Mustanky. And I'm coming over your house. I'm coming over your house and I'm making sandwiches and this jive turkey is going to get my stuff together. But guess what else? Ukraine just approved the deal.
Yeah, I was a little taken back by that. Like, I think they're just throwing this in the face of the UK, really, because I don't think that they're...
No, everything matters.
Really?
Because if we get down the line and everyone approves it, and the only one that has blocked it is the CMA, what's that going to look like?
Well, the FTC, too, remember, they're looking
FTC is going to court. That won't matter until later this year, so
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. They don't have the power to block it anyway, so who cares? The point I'm making is, if they're the last ones on the plate who has not done it,
Yeah. Yep.
what kind of strong argument are they going to have when the entire world
is gonna go against them?
Yes.
Also, can I add something from Twitch actually in chat because it is something important to tell.
Sure,
It's lost.
Flemish. If it's as long as it's important, you can. Don't you ever interrupt me for something that's not important? I'm just joking. Go ahead.
No, so basically, Determined Hero makes a really good point. Like, even if the deal doesn't go through because of this, right? And Sony, Microsoft with Activision will probably make a deal so they don't see games from Call of Duty on PlayStation anymore, out of spite.
I don't know if they'll go that far, but they definitely will stop their dealings in the UK, right? There's a lot of stuff they would, because the Bobby's tweet seemed he was pretty agitated, so they will probably not support Call of Duty in the UK. Maybe not all over the world, but UK, and that would be a blow. But let's not go that far, right? That's kind of dark. I think what will happen is, let's say we get to the end of the road and then they got a couple that won't. They'll just renegotiate the damn deal and exclude those markets and just take the ones that approved it and move it on.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Call
it's
of
that
Duty,
easy.
maybe?
No. You understand. What I'm saying is they already got approval from majority of the markets, right? All they got to do is renegotiate the damn deal and exclude those markets. And then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're done.
PK...
And it's the same outcome, right? If you negotiate it without those markets, that means those markets will be excluded from the content that they didn't want you to have.
PK, Determined Hero on Twitch said, "Jive turkey." He said your favorite saying.
Yeah, man.
Turkey.
There's a lot of jive turkeys out here in the world, man. I don't know, man. I thought they would expire, but they somehow keep making it. I don't know what's happening, man. We got to do something about it. I think we just got to get those hot turds in the bag and start and start showing them we ain't got time for their stuff, man.
My thing is, they make these decisions, and to me, it erodes the public trust in these agencies. Both the FTC and the CMA have both eroded their public trust because you're going, what in the world are they thinking? It's like,
it'll be all right. We'll get past it, and at some point we'll stop talking about it. But I just want to say, everyone out there that's watching, let me tell you, man, that Transformers trailer goes in. Another thing I was excited for was that,
what?
Yes, the Transformer movie, trailer. And another one I was excited for is the Armored Core trailer. I know it's just for me, but I had to tell everybody, yo, that is fire. Thank you.
So we just got Bay rolled, not Rick rolled, Bay rolled, because Michael Bay is still a producer on the...
No, don't tell those lies out here. Listen, do not scare the viewers. It is not a Michael Bay film at all.
Listen, you say that, but on IMDb, he's still listed as a producer. He's just not executive producer. But he's a producer.
But you and I both know from talking to actual producers that different producers have different roles. Some of them are strictly money guys. Some of them
just sweep the floors, and that's all he's good at. He's gonna sweep the floors,
and some of he may only have his name on it so he gets some money out of it. It may be the only reason he has his name on it.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why his name's on it.
Don't believe anything Clown said about this movie.
He's in charge of explosions. That's what he's doing. He's in charge of explosions.
Go animated. Tell him. Yes.
That's okay.
Oh.
I'm okay with that. As long as he's not in charge of the movie, I'm okay with that.
He's probably like, hey, other producers, I want an explosion in every scene. I want an explosion in every dialogue, something in the background going crazy. I want robots and mass destruction falling from the sky. I don't want any lovey-dovey stuff going on. I want more action.
So basically Borderlands 4, but then Transformers.
And he wants what is it? The light blooms. He's big on the light blooms too, and the 360 explosions and the light blooms and no, just
make it go boom. I don't like it. Make it go boom, and I like it.
Maybe we should try to get Michael Bay on for an interview and put PK on there and talk about how much we love the explosions.
Wow.
Determined Hero says, I'm in if the robots have jiggle physics.
I love it.
Oh, jeez.
That's good.
Wow.
These aren't GoBots. These are Transformers. The GoBots are the ones that had the jiggle physics.
Yeah, the Transformers are bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, for everyone, guys, don't forget to chat. The chat is open. You can tell all your questions, all your answers, and all your jokes.
That's right.
Except for Flemish.
No.
Yeah. So,
what is this game we watching, by the way?
This is The Last Case of Benedict Fox, and
what is this about?
You're solving the last case of Benedict Fox. What else do you need to know?
It's a game.
Listen, I ain't never seen the game. Explain it to me. Why we want to solve this case?
It's his first time playing.
Yeah.
Apparently he knows more about the game than I do.
Also,
so I'm just trying to.
It came out today on Game Pass, PK, so you can actually try it yourself.
Yeah. No, it's a mystery game. It's a puzzle solving game, and so far, partially because I can't actually hear any of the dialogue or anything, so I'm really learning as I go here. I've run into a lot of puzzles and no answers so far. So
sounds like you're not being a good detective. You need to be reading stuff.
But I'll tell you what, though, it looks good. I will say that it looks great. See, there's all these symbol door puzzles that I have no idea what these symbols mean yet. So
you need to learn how to speak that language really quick.
Yeah.
They say this translates to Michael Bay is the best executive producer ever.
Oh, no. Michael, no, just no.
He's powering up my fist on the right side. So, Clowns, let me ask you a question. You know that I'm right-handed, but if I smack you with my left hand, do you still get smacked? Just want to know.
No, because you would miss.
There we go. He said
I wouldn't miss with my left. Trust me.
Okay, can we move on?
I'm a lefty.
We are moving on.
I'm a lefty, guys, so I wouldn't miss with my left.
Cozy, you need to see that in that trailer of Armored Core and everything, even if you don't care, because I'm excited. Thank you.
And
I don't know. I only got one Beluga, but I don't know where she at. That's my only Pokemon.
It had the sound of silence.
No, Paul's your Pokemon too. Pineapple Pokemon.
No.
I don't use plants.
Oh yeah. I'm not really not worried about the Armored Core trailer. It's not going to be like, oh, that makes me excited. I don't really.
It makes me excited.
I like Armored Core. Trailers don't do much for me usually, unless it's a game I know I'm not interested in, or interested in. If I'm
I am interested. Times 100.
I don't know. I would say that I'm more excited about Zelda.
No, I'm excited about Armored Core. I just like if I'm already excited about a game and like you show me a trailer, it's like okay.
Oh my god, they made it look like a movie.
People can't manipulate me to be more interested in something that I'm already interested in.
I want to be manipulated.
It's not about manipulation. I mean, it could, a fresher trailer like with the movie The Flash, the trailer that came out. I mean, the second trailer.
Oh, that one was hot too.
Oh, well, that is a case of. I mean, trailers are cool and all, but they don't really make me be like, if it's not on my radar already. Trailers don't change the trajectory.
It doesn't.
Or if it's on if I'm already interested in something, trailers aren't going to be like, oh man, I'm extra interested. No.
That's me. I was looking.
Depending on what it is, I will be. I've done that before, where I'm interested in something, then I see something new, and I go, "Holy crap!" Now I'm really interested. Now I really.
What's that something?
I don't know. Movies sometimes mostly do it with me. Games too. Game trailer will make me go from, I'm kind of interested in that to, okay, now I really want to check that out. Because sometimes the second trailer will give you more information, so.
And I know this off topic, but I want to ask people, like, how do you guys feel about them remaking movies?
They always, it's not a new thing.
No, but wait, what? Like, is that really acceptable? Because one of my friends said they just don't have no more ideas, so that's all they got. And I said, that's BS. They just need to stop being lazy and get some real writers.
I mean, they've always remade movies.
So what I feel that they can do when they remake movies is basically when you have the creative vision from the movie that was older, right? They probably maybe couldn't do all the stuff they wanted to put in the movie, and then so many years later they actually can make it better, a better experience for the viewer, because they can just put so much more soul into the movie. Let's say.
Are you serious? Give me an example of that.
Dune.
Okay, I'll give you that. But are you serious? We're talking about, like, how about House Party? How about recently?
I don't even know House Party. What the hell is House Party?
Jump. White man can't jump. Are you serious?
Yeah. If they're that new, they really shouldn't be remade. But I have no problem with the different take on some of the classics that I've seen that I saw growing up, because some of those you all haven't seen. Some of those would be, you might be interested.
I give you that. Some of them, but that's only if they keep the source material, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Wait, that movie is like 30 years old.
House Party. Yeah, House Party was so bad that it came to video like 2 weeks after it being in the movie theater.
Wait, the new one or the old one?
Is that
the
good?
New one?
I mean, no, that's like a lot of movies come available now because people don't.
It actually, no one liked it. It flopped so
bad. I've watched them both recently, and it doesn't hold anything on the.
The original was different.
The original was.
By the way, Michael Davis, shout out to one of the founding members of Milestone Media who helped put that movie together and brought all those good people together. But still, I'm saying, they even rumor they're gonna reboot The Last Dragon.
See, here's the thing: you have a recency bias because movies have been remade since movies have been made. Your thing is they haven't been remade, and like you're old now, so you're seeing this cycle happen.
No,
well, no, that's not necessarily true.
It has nothing to do with that. It's more like if it like you mentioned Dune. Now, I can say that was a better version than
even in the olden days, things were rehashed and redone. That's not like a new concept.
Well, now that's not the same as remaking a movie.
The same thing. Movies have been remade. It's not a new concept.
What do you? Okay, no, trust me. I'm the oldest one here.
But that
I can tell you more about. I can tell you more about what's been remade
what I'm
than
saying
anything.
Is, movies have been remade. It's not a new concept.
No, but it's not always well done either. I mean, they remade Psycho, and the remake with Vince Vaughn is absolute shit. Okay,
but So
The
the
original.
question,
Well,
hey, are the
they
movies
also
bad?
remade Evil Dead, right? They also remade Evil Dead. with the
No,
book
so
in
are
the
we
house.
saying, hey, remakes are bad? Or are we saying,
Yes.
like, why are they remaking movies
Well-
now? Because that's not a new concept.
That's not my question. My question is how you feel about them, because I generally feel like a majority of them are just trying to do cash grabs, and they not trying to enhance the experience of the original take on it.
Yeah, I mean, the entire concept of movies in like the larger budget scheme of things is about cash grabs. Unless you're watching like the artsy stuff, movies are cash grabs. They're
But
not
I mean-
entertained, but they're
No, not necessarily. Okay. Like some movies, like if they ever tried to remake The Godfather, somebody would die. Okay. I'm just
No.
saying.
No.
Yeah.
No. I would like a
Yeah.
remake of The Godfather.
Wait a minute.
No, you don't touch The Godfather ever. No. Just no. Just
Never a remake of Goodfellas, but yeah, The Godfather I could see.
wait
I
a
think-
second.
I think some movies shouldn't be remade at all, right? Because they are just a staple in the industry, and
I would say like
they,
The
they could
Thing.
never do a good. They
Like-
could never.
The Thing. Remember that movie? Did you see that, Flemish? The
Nope.
Thing. So they rebooted or remade The Thing, but The Thing that came out recently was like a prequel to the original movie that came out before we were born. But the
Well,
original
the one
No,
that
it's
you mean
the
the one
same
from
what
like
they-
1950? Okay, remember there was one made 1953 as well.
Oh,
Well,
I didn't
it's-
see that one.
So PK, did they not do the same thing with Star Wars? They first made the 3 movies that were the end of the.
Yep. But if
and
but if
they
they ever
changed.
said, okay, we're gonna remake Star Wars from the beginning, oh,
Yeah,
people
it's not
would
gonna work.
shit a
It's not
brick.
gonna work. It's
But-
not gonna work.
But
But
No,
see,
no.
but see, that's not the same thing, Flemish, because those are chronologically part of the series. They did not
Yeah.
remake the movie; they just made it part of the universe. So that's not
Yeah.
exactly the same thing as I'm
No.
gonna just, I don't know. You think of a classic film that should never be touched.
I don't think they could ever remake
I think
Casablanca ever. They're-
Yeah, I think Mamma Mia is probably also a really good classic that could never be
What?
remade into the
What?
Mamma.
I wouldn't call Mamma Mia a classic anything. Okay.
What? Where did that even come from? Mamma Mia.
I'm
think-
sorry, I can't watch Mamma Mia. Okay.
Okay, I think Flemish
Also
needs a
the
little
sound-
more.
The Sound of Music, probably one of the
Yeah.
most.
Okay. Yeah.
I-
Don't try to remake the
Oh,
Sound
here's
of
the
Music.
no. Here's the thing about those. Those have like long history outside in theater and stuff like that. Do they even matter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
They matter in history.
yeah.
I-
Cause,
The Titanic as well could probably never be remade to have a better vision than the original had.
All right, so
Oh.
we got a comment from Determined Hero on Twitch, and he's got something to say. Says, I think movie remakes are fine since your experience with it is still there, and you can always still watch it. Plus, when remakes are done, people sometimes are introduced to the franchise and may even check out the originals. So I think that's true, especially for the newer generations, right? Like
if they put the work in, I can see that. But if they literally just use the name and then you put a movie together and literally has nothing to do with it, and you could have called it anything, that's different.
Yeah,
That's
but
different.
you don't know that until you watch the movie, PK.
But
But then
also, but see, to me, there is a difference between remaking like House Party, which is 30 years old, and remaking a movie that's 50 or 60 years old. A current uptake on it that people might, that way, because in fact, I was talking about this the other night. There, and some of you, maybe some of them that won't watch old movies because they're in black and white. They won't watch
That's
a black
not
and white
true, bro.
movie.
That's not true.
Scarface was a remake. You brought that up.
What do you mean
Prefer
that's
black
not
and
true? That
white.
there are people that won't watch black and white movies. Oh yes,
I
there
will
are.
watch. I will.
You
I
will,
prefer
but I'm
black and
saying
white
that
movies.
there are a lot of people that won't.
Handful. I really don't like a lot of the old acting.
Determined Hero always gets nervous at PK's response.
Yo, tell me, can you reboot Terminator? Like, can you
Yes.
actually redo
Yes.
that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's
Sure.
nothing that I
Yeah.
think the thing is, especially when you look at a movie where a lot about it is iconic, but it's not great because of like the acting or any of that. Like
Alright,
a lot of like the stuff.
What about White Man Can't Jump?
I think that
No,
is
I didn't even know that
doesn't.
movie.
So I think that doesn't work because I think certain movies only work within the context of the time period that they were created. Like
There
no
you
one's like out there talking.
There's a
like,
good idea.
White Man Can't Jump specifically. It is very much a product of its era, and a lot of the things that made it as a film were just things about that time that don't translate into modernness.
That's how I felt about the when I seen the trailer of White Man Can't Jump, the new one. I know some of you don't know there is one, but I seen it and I was like, oh heck no.
All right, I'm gonna name some iconic franchises that you guys may agree or disagree should be remade. Ready? Back to the Future.
Yes.
No.
Should be.
God,
I
no.
agree with Dragonheart Yobi. A reboot of the Terminator is possible, but I agree that the magic of the first, especially the second one, right? The second one is my favorite. Of how can you capture that magic? The second one, especially, that stood out among the rest.
I actually feel like, you know what? I take that back with Terminator. I don't think a reboot could work within. I think, especially movies that are reliant on technology. The world is a vastly different place, and I think for a movie like that to work, like you'd have to work around the changes in technology that, unless you were keeping it in the exact same time, I think.
Well, I think part of it is too. Some movies just
They
like
just go well.
like Aliens you could never really redo Aliens and have
Especially
the same shock that you could never have the same shock that the original did. Going, wow, because it's like Jurassic Park. The shock and awe of Jurassic Park, the first time you saw a dinosaur, all that's gone. Because
not only that though, because Jurassic Park is even different because that was actually the first time we had like CGI.
No, but I'm just saying that. But part of that was the awe of seeing dinosaurs.
The first time you experienced seeing that on a.
And I agree. That will not happen again. Like the new, they actually did sort of a reboot, right? They do reboots then instead of remakes, but the reboot from the Jurassic Park.
It's not a reboot. It's an extension. It's an extension of the universe. Yeah. So that's not the same thing.
They're sequels. They're sequels in the same universe, basically.
I think the problem I might have with a lot of reboots is mostly you can tell these reboots are made by old people. Because a lot of the things I look at in a lot of these reboots, I'm like, that just doesn't work in the time frame they're doing it in. People just don't do that anymore. Have you ever noticed that in a lot of like reboots where just people don't do that?
Give me an example.
I'm trying to think of an example. Like, it's usually stuff like subtleties, like, like things like they have, like, I'm thinking. Like, a lot of times they'll center around technologies that aren't used, like, for real by most people. Like, like every time I see something where like younger people have like landlines, not just cell phones, I'm like, who's writing this?
Give me an example so I can see where you're coming from.
I'm trying to think of something because I don't really watch a whole lot of like.
I can't say I agree with you. I would say a lot of the newer movies are written by younger producers and writers when they do these reboots, such as House Party. You could tell by the third act, they just said, F it. It just gave up.
And you are stuck in House Party. How about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Or how about
never seen that movie.
Dumb and Dumber? Or how about
no, I hope not.
Was Honey
never?
What was Honey? No. Yeah, that can't be repeated. That's another one that cannot be repeated.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber had a special quality because Jim Carrey was in there. Jim Carrey made that movie.
The actors make that special. That's why I said about House Party. You had comedians galore.
Play. Yeah,
not just Kid and Play. Martin Lawrence. You had all of the legendary actors in there who put that movie together. I mean,
it wasn't Bernie Mac, but it was who's the other one? The one who did Baby's Kids was in there.
Granddad. Granddad, the dude that did Baby's Kids, and he died unfortunately in a heart attack. But they had legendary actors in there that were also comedians. The point I'm making is it was
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is another one. I generally feel like you can't replace
Yeah,
one and two.
They're
Even with the
pa-
reboot. It's just
they're
it's
passing
not
the torch
same.
on Ghostbusters. They're passing, but it's not the same. It really won't be the same once. What's his name? The guy who played Ray, whose name is
John Witherspoon.
No,
Thank you,
Dan
Toby.
Aykroyd.
No,
Dan Aykroyd.
well, Dan
Dan
Aykroyd,
Aykroyd, right?
because Ghostbusters is his baby, and everything Ghostbusters comes out of his head. That's
If you really
him.
want to see the real sequel, you got to play the game they made some years ago.
I love that game they did. That
was
game
the true
is
sequel.
amazing.
Blues
That right
Brothers.
Blues
They
Brothers is
tried
another
that. They
classic.
tried that. That was utter crap. They tried that.
But that is a classic, though. It's hard
Yeah.
to repeat that because of the legendary actors.
Performances in it.
Yes, it's
And
hard.
I think the other issue is like the music is very different like nowadays.
Facts.
So it doesn't have that same kind of like.
Well, okay, so let me just correct you there because you're young and I can tell. Even when that movie came out, even when that movie came out, the music was aged. Okay,
No, I know that.
all the music, all the
I
music
don't
that
disagree.
came,
Paul,
I don't
she's
disagree
saying
with
the
it.
same thing you
I'm
just
saying
said, bro.
what you're saying.
She just saying it in a different way. She's saying
no,
what
but I'm
she's agreeing
saying,
with
no,
you.
I'm saying, but that the music that was in that movie was old when that movie came out. That
But
was
she's
the
saying
purpose of the movie.
She's saying it fit because of the time period. That's what she's saying. But you can't redo it with the same music from
Because they
our
don't have the
time.
same people.
I think you could because
What's class?
No, let her
I think
finish. Let her finish. Go ahead. What are you saying?
Motown still has a following. I would think that you could still, if
That's
you
not the
really wanted
issue.
to, you could still use that music.
Well, it's like this.
The people are dead.
If you make a movie that is based in that time period, that is a brand new movie we ain't seen. Like I'll give you an example, Roll Bounce. That was based in the 70s, right? None of those people in that movie are from the 70s, let's be honest, all right? None of those, that's Bow Wow, all right? But they played it off really well because they stuck with everything from that time period. And that's why it worked.
You know what was a bad remake? Karate Kid.
Rambo was also a bad
Yeah, we can talk about the obvious. They just wanted
They didn't
to
remake
use that
Rambo.
title.
They didn't remake Rambo. What do you?
No, they did Rambo 4.
I believe
No, that
Karate
was
Kid
the-
was
that-
not.
Continuation. It's not a remake. It's a continuation.
Ah,
It was
There's a complete difference between a remake and a continuation of the story.
He keeps on bringing up these movies that got in the
Karate
same
Kid
universe.
shouldn't have even been like I think that was
I
just.
think
a
I
crap
enjoyed the movie, but it could have
shouldn't
been called anything.
Yes.
It could have been called anything, to be honest. It could. I don't even know why they called it Karate Kid.
Because they're banking on that money.
He didn't even do karate. He did kung fu. So it
I
was
mean,
like,
I know it was like, but
it could have been anything. But still enjoyed it.
But let's go a little bit older, somewhere because I do love really old films, right?
All right, let's go.
Oh, because I do love black and white movies, right? My favorite actor is Humphrey Bogart, right?
Really?
Even,
that's what's up.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what's up.
But could you remake Harvey with James Stewart? You couldn't.
I
Wouldn't
think
work.
black and white has a charm for that.
I mean,
movie.
they kind of tried with Roger Rabbit, but that's not the point. But you couldn't make stuff like that. It's a Wonderful Life. You couldn't make it
Roger
again.
Rabbit couldn't be remade.
I think actually, I think the thing about Harvey specifically, it requires a lot of film conventions that aren't things done anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's just.
I'm saying you couldn't remake something like that. You couldn't.
It is just
Same
the
as
way
a lot of Humphrey Bogart stuff.
The way the movie was
Casablanca,
written.
you couldn't remake it.
See, back then, film was written as scenes. So when you're in a scene, it's really like a play that's in motion. So you can't. It's hard to remake that stuff because it's. I mean, legit. It's a movie with scenes. If you do it today, you'll lose so much of that aesthetic. Is unreal because it's not done like that, right?
The major difference is right because they didn't have James the Michael Bay explosions. They didn't have all this, right? It had to be a good story to be a good film. It had to be a good story back in the day because they didn't have all this CGI and shit. That's why I love black and white movies because it was all about the story.
I got you. Dreadpool says it depends on the movie and and how it's approached. Some are time period specific. I'll use Live in Color. I know the TV show, but it applies. It cannot be done today because of the climate of politics. I agree with you there, Drippool. One of my favorite TV shows of all time is Married with Children, and definitely could not be repeated in this day and age because of it would definitely get removed from TV, even though it's hilarious. But that's kind of what I was saying. That's why I brought it up, and I just wanted to see, because when I seen that White Man Can't Jump, I was like, no. All right, you know those two, 3, 4, 5, 6 legendary actors that did the original movie. There's no way you can redo that, right? Those dudes to this day carry on a legacy that we can never forget. When you think of Wesley Snipes, you already popped in your mind what movie you thinking about.
Blade.
During that time, both Wesley Snipes and were like kind of peak, like
yes,
just peak,
Harrelson.
like yes,
yeah, Woody Harrelson.
And what's her name?
Seemed like you were.
What was you saying, Flemish?
Well, it was the same like you were saying like some time ago, right? The new Blade movie that they were gonna basically do like a remake.
Well, no, see that's different, Flemish, because they're creating it in their universe. My issue with that is, first, they taking way too long, and the actor they chose is not getting younger. And by the time they do it, man, he ain't gonna be able to do like 3 movies. All right, he ain't gonna be able to do that. And then on top of that, he doesn't have the martial art background or physical fitness that Wesley Snipes had, so he doesn't have that same demeanor. He's a great actor. I just don't think he can fill those boots. When you think of Blade, everyone in the world knows. When you seen the first one, the first thing you think about is that rave when he went in there and destroyed everything, and it was rated R. This Blade is going to be PG-13, so that means it's not going to be no killing, no cussing, no nothing that make you feel like this is authentic. So that takes away a lot of excitement for me.
And authenticity.
That is actually a good point.
Yeah.
Like certain movies, they have certain things in them that they can't do nowadays, and that was part of like the charm and the
right. There's that's what made it special, and then you take it away, and then what? Just think about this, like, how would you guys feel? Like, let's see, there was a movie before I just lost my train of thought. I'll get it back. You guys continue. I'm just reading Dragonheart Yobi thing. He said that's why he didn't watch How High 2. Red Man and Method Man wasn't involved, so I think it was mad disrespectful. I get that too. A lot of people may not have seen that, but I do agree with that as well. I do agree with that as well. And honestly, it's more like you have talented writers out here in these streets. I mean, look at our video games. They literally write movies. And you can't tell me you can't make a brand new something that is special?
I mean, they do.
Hey, let me say, the Fright Night remake was awful. The RoboCop remake was awful. The Total Recall remake, absolute crap. Okay.
I will say one, like we did earlier. Also talk about the movies that were basically not doable this time around, right? Don't try to remake the movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice.
Well, that was a parody of other movies.
It was good. It was like probably to this day like one of the best parody movies ever.
Hey, listen.
I think.
Let me ask you. Go ahead. I
was gonna say it's scary, like kind of like Scary Movie is like, you know, they
can, that's their first parody movie. That was their first one, which was the biggest one, right? It was the biggest one, and then after the part 2, I think the owners took the rights away from the Wayans, so they couldn't do any more scary movies, and that's why it went the way it went.
Yeah.
But check this out. Has everyone seen Juice in here?
Yes.
Juice?
Do you think that could be remade?
No.
Juice?
Why not, Josie?
I just don't. I think I feel like not just the culture of how movies are made has changed a lot, but also like I think it's like culture is really a lot of times when I say I don't think. I mean, do I think it could be made? Technically, yes. Do I think it would serve the movie well to be remade? I don't think so. I think typically for me, like when a movie is like, oh, that movie would be good to be remade, is like
Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, that movie hasn't been remade.
Well, they're doing that right now with the 3D. Come on, they're not gonna do the original movie.
No,
Like the original.
there's never been a Super Mario movie.
Hold on.
There's never been a Super Mario movie.
I will say the Super Mario movie that
Yes.
came out has a special
Yes.
place in my heart. I actually did enjoy it.
No,
without
no.
if you
Shut
turn
up.
your brain
Please
off,
stop
if you
talking.
turn your brain off, I did enjoy the movie when I was a kid. Okay.
Hey, the phrase "turn your brain off" should not be part of the.
Flemish.
Like
they didn't
this
even
if
have
you-
the right princess. It was Princess Daisy. It wasn't
I
even Princess
know.
Peach.
It was Daisy.
They had so much wrong with that.
I
And that
know
was Clown's
everything was
favorite
wrong
movie,
with that
too.
movie.
Come on.
The Koopas were singing in the elevator.
We don't want to see another
Bob
Street
Hoskins
Fighter
did a
live.
grand job.
We don't
Bob
want to see a
Hoskins did a grand job back in the day.
I would love to see a remake of Street Fighter because the Jean-Claude Van Damme one was another abomination.
Yeah.
That movie was held together by Raul Julia.
I love Jean-Claude Van Damme in that movie.
They made E Honda a Hawaiian. He wasn't even Japanese. Oh my god!
I don't know anything about the Street Fighter universe, but I
Good.
enjoyed the movie.
You don't want to unsee it because Paul watched it a bunch of times.
No,
It's one of his
I
favorites.
think I
Look at
watched it
animated,
once
you
when it.
start
Oh,
I
recalling
watched
the
it
time
once
he
when it
watched
came out, and I was like, nope.
I will
Nope.
say almost every one of the action movies that were classics, right? Like Bruce Willis,
Die Hard.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah, all those movies, right? Jet Li, who's another one that was good into fighting scenes?
Jackie Chan?
Well, Jackie Chan can't really be remade, at least not well.
No, he couldn't even be remade. Like his personality inside the movies is just awesome. Like all those movies couldn't be remade. Just the way how they're done with the actors, like the soul of the movies themselves, because of the actors, which makes the movies in the first place, couldn't be done.
Well, it's
And
not just the actors, right? It's the writing, dude. These were movies we ain't never seen before, like stuff they never done. And here it is. Why can't you continue that by you have so many great writers out here, bro. Like, why are you going back to rehash something that you don't even care about? You don't believe in, but you're going to redo it. I don't understand.
And there are ways to do it too. Like, okay, Yobi, you may know this. Four Brothers. Did you ever watch the movie?
Yeah, I watched that movie for sure.
Did
That's
you-
got
did
Andre
you like it?
3000.
Did you
I
like
that
it?
movie? Yeah.
You know, it was based on a Western called the Sons of Katie Elder.
Hey,
It was based. It
The
was based on
seven-
a John Wayne movie. It was based on a
The
John Wayne movie.
Magnificent Seven was remade, but I like
Was
that
based,
too.
and the Magnificent Seven was based on a Kurosawa film from before that.
But see, you see the difference when
they're taking the story and they're changing the setting and
Even-
making it make sense.
Speaking
Yeah.
about Denzel, he's being the equalizer right now, right?
I love him in The Equalizer. I love him in The
Yep.
Equalizer.
Yo,
awesome movie.
but see the difference though? They care about the source material and then keep it moving. Like that's the difference when you try to remake something that no one cares about. And I'm not saying all movies, right? That's why I want to get everybody's take on how you felt, because when I seen The White Man Can't Jump, I was kind of offended. Like, yo, really? Really?
Yep.
Really?
And yes, Dragonheart, technically it was a remake, but they like to use the term reimaging when they bring it up like that.
Reimagine it or whatever.
Yeah, they reimagined the story. Same with Kurosawa and the Seven Samurai, which would become the Magnificent Seven,
All right.
and things like that.
So let me ask you guys about a current or a newer movie. Do you think that John Wick could be remade?
No.
No.
What?
No. Oh,
Really?
no. Keanu Reeves.
I think he owned that part so well. You couldn't put anybody else in that position. I don't think.
Not just him, but like him and the combination he has, like the kind of like the chemistry he has with each individual person he interacts with is something I don't think you'd have to find someone that works for that movie to remake it, and then someone that works with all those different people in the same sort of way.
I need to know who the other actor was. Hold on.
You talking about Common? Or are you talking about Scorpion? Who you talking about? You talking about what's his name? Oh, he played the blind martial artist in Star Wars. Donnie Yen.
Oh, Donnie Yen is great.
But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. So, that's pretty recent franchise, right? And you're saying that can never be redone, like ever.
Yep.
Couldn't imagine anybody else playing the characters in there, to be honest. I think it was so well cast. Not even just Keanu himself. I mean, Ian McShane as the guy that run the hotel. I think he was just absolutely brilliant. He just played such a good part. I forget the actor, the guy that was his assistant.
But that's kind of what I'm bringing up. So, I mean, and I'm just bringing up current movie, right? A current movie franchise.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think that a little bit is that they are being lazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said it. They're being lazy.
I wouldn't say lazy, right? I just think they're running out of ideas.
No, they have not.
There's no originality anymore.
I don't believe they're trying hard enough, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can't tell me that Steven Spielberg can bring out movies that ain't nobody ever seen, such as Batteries Not Included, and
love that.
And what's the one he recently did?
Superstar.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, which was based on a book.
It was. But my point is, there's lots of books out there too that you do movies on. But my point is,
I'm still waiting for one.
How many times have you seen anybody? What I'm telling you is, there's so much talent out there. It's impossible not to. I mean, we interviewed Joe Pastro on here, right? And he writing a book. Yeah, Bill. In his movie, his book could be a movie, right? And all I'm saying is, there's plenty of source material out there.
There's an Australian author called Matthew Riley I really like, who has a character called Scarecrow. That would make an absolute fantastic set of movies.
That? You see what I'm saying?
I do think there are spaces where the remakes are better, but I think it's never going to be in pretty much any big movie.
Well,
because they're not done the same way. Like, I think Suspiria was better than the original.
Let me add this as well, right? Because the Tomatiro had some really great point in the Twitch chat. I'll scroll a little bit up. So the thing with the remakes, right? Some movies are old. Some movies are done that the people that live now don't even know them, right? There are multiple movies you guys talked about that I didn't even know about, like House Party and that kind of stuff, right? Been before my time. Some people are introduced to those franchises and then go watch the originals after to learn more about those movies. They are actually
I don't agree with him. I agree with what he's saying. No, I agree with him. I said I do not disagree with him, is what I meant. I agree with what you're saying. However, ask yourself, can the movie Friday be rebooted?
Oh, no.
I have no idea what Friday is.
I think it would work. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work these days. I don't think it'd have the same effect.
Friday.
But that's kind of what I'm getting at. That it will be a waste. See, when someone watches a movie, there's one thing you can't get back, and that's their time. And what you don't want to do is put a bad taste in their mouth and say, this was terrible. Why would anybody reboot this? I'm not ever going to touch the original. Do you get what I'm saying? Some movies I generally believe are just classics as they are, and you just need to protect that as is. Now, Clowns mentioned the movie,
and like was said, some of them are a product of their time, and that cannot be repeated.
Yes, exactly. I 100% agree. And even if they was to set it in the same time period, it will still be difficult to redo because
because society has changed.
The organics the organics is different.
Yeah,
like
the attitudes and stuff in Friday. There things are changing. Though that style of comedy or humor wouldn't necessarily carry over. Later on.
Yeah, it's like back in the day, it was always like one serious guy and one super funny guy, right? And then you have
that's not what
they still do that. There's still always a straight man.
That's not what he means, Flemish. He's saying
there's still always the comic relief, right? In every movie.
Yeah.
We have cancel culture is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. And Clowns mentioned a movie that he liked. I still haven't seen yet, and I'm probably going to put it on my list to watch. Is Goodfellas, right? I never seen this movie yet.
Ooh, you gotta watch Goodfellas.
I haven't even watched Godfather yet.
Okay, we won't. Okay, why are you still here? Okay, just go.
I'm too young. I'm too young.
Can Goodfellas ever be remade?
No, there's no way because you have an iconic cast with Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. They played such a great thing off each other, and they're getting older. Like
Well, not with the same characters. I'm saying with different new people.
Saying that though, have you seen that? Is it The Irishman? Have you guys seen that?
I have. It's a long movie, but it's all right. It's a long movie.
It's the same people that's in those kind of movies like Goodfellas and things like. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same actors, right? And it's just like it's a different take on the whole thing.
Fantastic actors.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're really old now, aren't they? They really are. Al Pacino,
but they delivered
Robert De Niro, and
they delivered something special, right? Like I don't know if you guys watched Heat with Robert De Niro, and man, Heat was so fire.
Heat's awesome. Yeah, Heat is.
But that's why I was bringing it up, and that's why I asked Clowns how you felt about them redoing that. I mean, My Cousin Vinny, can you redo that? Can you redo that movie?
No, absolutely not.
There was two Utes. Two what? Utes. Two what? Two Utes. Two what?
I think
brilliant movie. Two what?
Go ahead, Cozy. And part of that was also, it wasn't just Pesci. That was Fred Gwynn as the judge, and Fred Gwynn is just for amazing work.
What'd you say, Cozy?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think that's another one of those where the culture surrounding the time that movie came out, it was just so different that it doesn't kind of work. Not just the acting, but just much. I mean, there's so much about a movie that just it's like that doesn't work in this time frame. Even if you put it in that, I mean, I think a lot of these movies, so much about them used the time that they existed in.
That's my point. We need movies that use this time and make new ones that take advantage of our current time period. Or future, right?
Yeah.
Can Back to the Future be rebooted?
I think Back to the Future actually can.
Oh.
I don't think it could because of just because it's also it's a timepiece too for the 80s and
What I will say is I don't see someone being able to pull off a truly unique. I think it can be remade, but I think it would have to be something not. It couldn't follow the template of.
Then you might as well don't call it the same movie name.
Yeah.
Call it something else. That's the way I view it. Same way I felt about Karate Kid. I still enjoyed it for what it was, but I felt like it shouldn't have been Karate Kid. It should have been something else. Because you could have called it anything.
I say Back to the Future. I feel like at least you could have certain points where it's Karate Kid. What did that have to do with the original Karate Kid?
Nothing.
It didn't.
He
It
didn't
had nothing.
do
It was a
I
Karate.
think
remake.
that was
It
the
was a
thing
true
about
remake.
it. I think the problem with Karate Kid in that comparison is Karate Kid would have had to have looked in some way at least a little similar. It was just a completely different
Wasn't he
concept.
Italian?
No, the big part with me was like, as much as I love Jackie Chan, okay, as an actor, I think he's great. He didn't pull off the carrying old sensei thing the way that the guy did in the original. He
Well,
just he,
he didn't even do karate. He did kung fu.
well
He was a
and
kung-
well
He was the kung
Jack,
fu kid.
and Jackie Chan does 4,000 different kinds of different disciplines.
The thing is though, you know
different culture, different people.
Yeah, you know Jackie Chan as more of a comedic actor rather than the.
No, I know him
sensible
from
old
his
man
serious
that-
stuff too. No, I know him from Police Story and stuff. Trust me, I go way back.
Yeah, I know, but there was still a comedic effect to that, wasn't? It wasn't an actual serious. Even Drunken Master back in the day, right? He was still the comedic actor, right? That's all he's ever been. If you've seen the old stuff in Chinese, that he did.
I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of the old stuff.
So even in his early days, he was still that comedic kind of character. He's done some serious parts, but he didn't pull off a serious old guy like Mr. Miyagi. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna give you guys.
I'm agreeing with you, Paul. I'm agreeing with
give you guys a recommendation here, and this is for people who may or may not be in Star Wars. Make Jedi: The Fallen Order a live-action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Cameron Monaghan would love to do it in real life. And he could do it. And it's the same character, it's the same actor. I mean,
Well, you can even make God of War
Good
actually
story.
a good movie. To be honest,
You're on a roll now, Flamish. Finally. So my point is, take people who already is doing God's work out there and put their movies, their work to use. Come on, man. Why waste people's time and money on reboots and remakes that will never catch the same feel? I mean,
I think a lot of it is the interactiveness of games makes them seem better than they are.
No, Jedi Fallen Order would make a great story in a movie.
Some of them are just written. Some of them are just written well. Some of them are, it is what it is. But my point is, I'm not saying games in general as a source, but I'm saying anything.
Anything that's not already been done.
Yeah, you have so much stuff out there. Why not? Right? You got a lot of stuff, and I'm saying it could be great things that we never experienced. Like there's lots of books I've never read that you could bring to life that will probably be amazing.
Yep. True. I was about to say the same thing, PK. In fairness, I do go through a lot of books, and every single one of them is probably 90% better than most of the new movies I've seen.
Yo, there was a movie.
Every single one of them.
Sylvester Stallone did on Amazon called the I forget.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was well done.
He was supposed to be a superhero, but it's
Samaritan.
Yes,
Samaritan. Yeah,
very good movie. Great movie. Great, really written. I love the twist in the end. That's what I'm talking about. Well, how old is Sylvester Stallone? He fit that part so well, it's unreal. Let me just tell you, man. That's what we need. More of that kind of things that we just never seen before, but worked. If you haven't seen it, you should treat yourself. That movie was great. It's a good family flick too. It's
because dope. The people that are doing that and have the money to do that are not interested.
I mean, I think the people that have the money should go to the studios like Netflix and Amazon that just throw money at anything to get stuff made because
especially Amazon. Amazon is for throwing money at stuff.
No, I mean, no, Netflix too. There's a lot of shovelware on Netflix where they just got a lot of stuff. It may not be great, but there's stuff there. So they do pay people for a lot of stuff. So that's what they need and need to go towards that. Think about it. There's a lot of movies that don't go to the theaters that are great as well. That's just on a streaming service, such as the one I mentioned.
Yep. I mean, because theaters are like not where they're not really worth it for a lot of these movies anymore.
It just
I'd
depends.
have to check, but given his history, I bet you Stallone is the one who went to them and said, "Hey, I want to do this."
Well, he did that
Because-
TV show on what was it? Paramount? Is it Peacock? It's one of them. Paramount Plus. What was it called, clowns? He's playing the Italian
Tulsa
King.
one.
Fantastic
Tulsa,
show.
yeah.
But
Yep.
we never seen this before. And he fit that role perfectly. It was like he was made for that. And it's not that I'm just giving him props. I'm saying in general, when you have those anomalies that are sticking out.
Yep.
That's it makes the reboot seem asinine. That's what I'm saying. It really makes it seem like it's really a waste of time. It's like redoing the Alf TV show.
Yeah, no.
Wait, I would like a new Alf TV show.
I'm sure you would.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
I don't know. I beat this to the topic to death, but I thought it was a good discussion, so that's why I brought it up.
It's an excellent. I just think I don't think I think the big problem is always going to be who's financing this, and if a movie can be successful without going to theaters. And in fact, a lot of times theaters can be an unnecessary cost because a lot of people don't even go to theaters anymore. Unless it's like a really big movie.
Well, I'm definitely seeing Transformers.
Yeah, that's the kind of, obviously, Transformers is obviously a movie that's going to theaters, but that compared to something like Samaritan, that movie would do fine. Like, in fact,
Samaritan is fantastic.
It is
It's a
fantastic.
gem.
I'm not saying it's not fantastic. I'm saying a lot of people wouldn't pay to see that.
I'm just telling everybody else that hasn't seen it. It is definitely worth your time. Definitely.
Because there are a lot of good movies like on these services, but they're not the kind of movies I imagine would do well in theaters.
New Alf would be played by Carlo. Yeah, they wouldn't even have to make a costume.
Oh God!
They wouldn't even have to make a costume. They just
my God, no, he didn't. Disrespectful.
A short hairy alien. There you go.
Disrespectful, yo.
I mean, although it's really interesting to have this conversation, like about another one of these remakes that suck in the year where last year we had Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I enjoyed that movie though.
I'm complimenting it. I'm saying, we have that kind of movie, and then you still have people that are like, we don't want to try anything.
No, I bought that movie. I enjoyed that movie. Okay, I own that.
You have the one where it has like all the eyes all over it.
What's that?
The copy, the Blu-ray of it where it has all the eyes.
Oh no, I bought it digital.
Uh-oh.
I can't store physical stuff anymore. Don't got room for that. But I did. There was a lot of movies like Black Phone. That was something
Black
new.
Phone was cool. Yeah,
that was also a great movie.
That was amazing. I'm glad. I wish I did see that in theaters because I didn't really have high expectations.
I did, and I bought that movie too. Let me just say that was based back in the day, right?
Yeah, and they did it very well.
Very good, very well written, and great actors. They did great. They just knocked it out the park. That's all I can say.
That also might be another thing. Is like a lot of times in like movies that can't pull off the time period well, they feel kind of like anachronistic in a bad way. And that movie is Black Phone is like the opposite of that, where it felt like very much like a movie in that time.
Right. Yes. Exactly. That's kind of why I was bringing that up. What about you, Animated? Have you seen any of these movies we mentioned?
Yeah, a few. Yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
Black Phone is another one that will knock your socks off, homie. And like legit.
I've seen that one. I have not seen that one. I'm going to be honest.
That one.
It is so good.
That one you're gonna. It's a thriller. I would say.
It caught me off guard how much I liked it as a film.
It will catch you off guard. It will hit you with a gut punch.
And it doesn't really do any, like, it's like you don't see a lot of, it was its own thing. I think that's
Yes.
what also made it good.
It was its own thing. It has its own curves and twists and turns, and you don't see it coming. That's what makes it special.
I'll check that one out.
That goes for anybody out there. Oh, and Dragonheart Yobi's like Jason's lyric, Poetic Justice. Hey, listen. Shout out to Tupac, man. A man of culture, man, a prophet, poet, a little bit of everything. He definitely brought his energy to film that can't be repeated.
I also think like that good era of like kind of like, you know, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to find the word for it, but there's a certain aesthetic to those movies that just was that time, especially like, you know that when you said juice earlier, that isn't something that I think can be repeated. Like almost a magic of that time.
True that. We also got a magic of our time.
We do, and I agree. But I think a lot of people, but like you said, like people aren't taking advantage of things.
I feel like some movies they could make great if they just put the same energy in as some of the movies we mentioned. And some of them are recent movies. But it feels like is we're looking for the good movies.
Somebody's watching me.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there, PK.
Okay.
I think it's like it does feel like that because it's like they throw things at a wall, almost until something sticks.
All right, so
but not new things. Like here's what we already have.
So what would everybody like to see come to film? And it could be video game related. It could be anything. What would be your if you had it your way? This would be the true thing you want to see come to film. It could be made after a book. It could be made after a game. It could be something brand new, your own idea, whatever.
I've been saying this for years, and I'm gonna keep spouting my horn about this series. There is this series from Raymond E. Feist. He has a really great series, 20 books so far. I don't know if he still writes for those series, but it's called it's basically the Rift War saga. It's basically the first chapters, right? But it's basically rivaling Lord of the Rings and that kind of stuff. But it's actually with multiple worlds. I think I wish at some point they would make it into movies because those are really cool. Mm-hmm. Raymond E. Feist. Read those books. They're amazing.
I'll take a summary. I don't know if I have the capacity to read them at like that right now, but Cozy, go.
Wait, what? You shouldn't ask. Someone else probably has an answer more readily.
Okay, she's not ready.
I see this.
Paul, go.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean,
he's not ready. Animated, go.
So I will go, right. So because I'm an avid reader of books, as you can see behind me, all those on my shelves, they're books. They're all books I've read. A few games on there, right? So there's two characters that stick out straight away, right? Scarecrow by an Australian author called Matthew Riley. Very, very good. And there's a similar character called Spider Shepherd, an English author called Stephen Leather. They would both make absolutely fantastic movies. Of course, I'm a big fan of the Jason Bourne series, right, which was penned by, I've got the collection, Robert Ludlum.
Yeah.
And they did quite well compared to how the book is. The book's a little bit dated because it was like the Vietnam War and stuff. I think those, because they're recent books, would fit in with the now, the things that are going on now. Spider Shepherd, that is very terroristy kind of orientated. So he's battling against terrorist infiltration kind of thing. Would work really well. and Scarecrow from the Australian author Matthew Riley is very much where he gets into all sorts of trouble by accident. It would work very much in the same way as the Jason Bourne series did. They would be really good movies. They would actually make really, really good series as well. So that's my opinion, of course.
That's what we want to hear. Your opinion, buddy.
Absolutely right. So hopefully I've garnered enough time for Cozy and Paul to think a little bit for their answers, right?
Well, I'm going to give him one more. Carlo, go.
What would I like to see be turned into a movie if it hasn't been already? Is that the question? Is that what we're getting at?
It doesn't have to be based on anything if you don't want to. It could be based on a game, book, or any media, or it could be your own idea. I don't care. What do you like to see?
I would like to see a movie where the mafia is portrayed as the good guys and they stop corrupt government officials.
Okay.
So fantasy. So fantasy. Fantasy's
no, reality. Reality. Because sometimes some of those agents are more crooked.
You can't diss his idea, bro. You gotta let him have it.
I know that. I know that the mafia, for their own purposes, could stop some crooked politicians. So I do know that.
I like that. Thank you.
Wait, what?
Cozy, go.
So I think it's hard for me because a lot of the stuff, the books, especially that I like, aren't books that translate.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I'd probably pick something like something written by Tad Williams, like Otherland or something.
What's that?
It's a great.
You gotta educate me. I don't know what that is.
You don't read.
I do read. I just don't read those things. I sit on the toilet and read. Trust me, that's my read time.
Yeah.
It's like a future sci-fi series. A lot happens.
Okay.
And
I like sci-fi.
Really dense reads, or I'd pick something like what's it called?
Your wireless batteries are low.
Whose?
Nah, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Or something like Sci-Teen, which is another sci-fi series, and it's like about this like kind of like emperor that's like continually cloned and cloned and cloned. It's also a really good series, and just about everything I like is going to be sci-fi because I think sci-fi is like the most underserved.
I enjoy sci-fi, so I'm with it.
And the other thing I would pick is anything like, in the Culture series by Ian Banks.
Mm.
So any of those.
Paul, before I say go, I'm going to highlight Dragonheart Yobi. He says he wants to see Mass Effect as a TV show.
Ooh.
And Hi-Fi Rush is the anime series. Yo, you picked some great gems there, bro. I would definitely appreciate. I would love to, and I would appreciate both of those, to be honest.
I do want to say, what if we make like an interactive TV show of Mass Effect where you can actually vote on different outcomes?
That would be hot too.
That would be cool.
That would be my idea if you remake Mass Effect, because a huge part of that game was making the decisions.
But that's the game. I don't know how well it'll translate to TV show, but I say I'm with it if it's possible, right?
I honestly think instead of having the main game, they could focus on like the Contact Wars and that, what you call it?
I'm with that too.
With like, especially a series surrounding like Anderson, I think would be really.
Spooky says he's down for me to be a heel turn. No, I'm actually about to wrap up, buddy, because we've been beaten up. We had a good time though, a good discussion.
Yeah,
let me just say,
fun.
Paul, go.
There's a series of books called The Myth Adventures by Robert Asprin, who also wrote some of the D&D books. And they are a fun. Imagine in a world where you have a wizard and his name is Oz, Aaz. Okay, the Wizard of Oz, and it's just a twisted little thing. And he's lost his powers, and he has to take this young guy who's lost his mentor and take him through the different worlds and stuff. It's just a twisted little set of books, but it's a lot of fun.
Any of them, but I'm familiar with them because I always
and
like.
They have humor in them, and it's like I said, the fact that the wizard, the unpowered wizard's name is Oz, should tell you that it's got that kind of twisted humor. And they would actually make a good set of either a series or a set of movies, because the adventures they get on. And every book is named like Myth Adventures, Hit or Myth. You'll notice I'm not saying miss, I'm saying myth.
Missing person. I remember missing person. I remember that one specifically. Yeah. Because I used to love putting those away because I would be like look through like all the titles and I'd be like, that's a
and sadly they are hard to find. They really are. But they're a great set of books.
They have them at the library.
Yeah.
Yo. Wow. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up because this time we had a great time, good show. Thank you for everybody coming out watching. I'm gonna tell you mine. Listen, for me, I got a lot of stuff, but I'm just narrowed down for two for now. One, I want them to stop giving us Overwatch trailers and finally make that into an animated show or movie. I am so sick of this. Give us an animated show or movie for the final time. I'm sick of these animated shorts.
Yes.
And the last thing, I want to see Static in live flesh and blood.
Ooh.
Like before
we are getting Static, aren't we? Wasn't there an article posted? We're getting Static in.
There was an article. Well, first of all, Static is supposed to be produced. The movie already being brought together and produced by Michael B. Jordan. However, James Gunn says he is open to bringing the Milestone universe to the DCU, which would be awesome.
Yeah, which would be absolutely awesome.
But I would love to see those two projects in real life and be done. Those are my two highest wish lists right there. And that's all I got for this. And like I said, this ain't no show without you guys. I appreciate you all coming out to watch, hang out, and talk and interact with us. We love that. Always come back and give us more. We love having discussions, and we love when you beat up on Paul there while he's wiggling in the background with his little picture.
Oh, don't beat up Paul.
He's wiggling. He's wiggling like he's gonna squirt something out. I don't know what that is.
Well, excuse me.
What?
He doesn't see his avatar right now. I'm just
no,
saying.
I see my avatar. I'm just ignoring it. I am absolutely ignoring it. And I'm actually, playing the game. Okay, so
Yo, thanks for all the panel, man. You guys are awesome. It's always fun having these conversations with you. I know I threw you off with the topics and all, but I generally felt like it was something to talk about. To be honest, especially after talking about ABK like 99 years in a row. I think we needed something fresh.
I love this.
So let's do our closeouts, our shout outs, and tell everybody where we're gonna be. Carlo, go ahead and close us out, brother.
All right, so let's go down the panel in the order. Cozy Beluga.
You can find me today on 4GQ TV. You can find me tomorrow normally. No, that's not. Today is Thursday. You can find me normally on Fridays as well on Bullsitting with Ham Solo and Loke. And then you can find me on Sundays on The Flemish Experience. You can also find me on Twitter at Cozy Beluga.
That's right. So everybody give Cozy Beluga a follow. She's really cool. Check out the shows, Flemish Experience.
Please don't follow me.
Everybody follow quick. Flemish, a.k.a. Gibby, a.k.a. the chocolate goblin. Yes, Gibby from True Crime All the Time. That's your new nickname.
The
chocolate thief. Where can people find you?
Chocolate thief. Okay. Yeah, Klaus. Everybody can find me over on my Twitch channel, Flemish Boy, because I like to make a meme out of God of War. And I couldn't get the name Flemish, so I had to big boy
The
behind it.
real reason.
Yeah, that's a real reason I could pick Flemish. And Flemish man sounds a little bit weird, right? No, besides that, guys.
Like Flemish boy doesn't sound weird. Okay, let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
okay. Thanks, Paul. No, I got a birthday stream coming up next week, Wednesday, over on Twitch. It's gonna be other people at my house. We're gonna do a party. We're gonna do karaoke, cooking, and I got this awesome box from none other than my American shop, guys. So I'm gonna maybe do some American food as well. I got a nice surprise in there from chocolate that maybe I'm not gonna like, and many people talked about in Europe that they don't like at all, which is from America. So we're gonna see how that tastes for the first time. And there's more things to come in that stream. There's gonna be a giveaway as well. But you'll see that in the stream. So I hope you all come over. It's starting at what's the time? 4 p.m. Brussels time. So that would be 10 a.m. in the morning for EST. And I hope to see you all there. It's gonna be fun. The 3rd, so Wednesday.
The 3rd, Wednesday.
See you all there. Yes.
Find the chocolate goblin. Maybe, maybe one year for a challenge is you can dip candy in that frite mayonnaise or whatever they call it over there. I don't know.
Oh my God. No, Claude, why always candy with sauce?
Mayonnaise is not sauce. Well, you don't want to do the hot sauce, so why not mayo? I mean.
Well, I cannot do the hot sauce because people don't want me to harm myself because I don't
right. So mayonnaise is good.
Oh man, what do you mean harm yourself? What do you think?
No, because some of the stuff he was trying to get was like super hot. Like he was trying to get ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, trying to mix it all together.
I love ghost pepper. I love ghost pepper.
He was going to mix it all together and then eat out of it.
Oh no, that will kill you.
Well,
that'll kill you.
Together, but
are you trying to get
I wanted to get like I wanted to get like the challenge stuff, right?
No.
The hottest chip in the world and kind of stuff, but that would be
no. That
please
should
don't.
kill you, man.
That's bad for your stomach.
Yeah,
so if you got some good tips, what I still can add to my stuff
and candy. There you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Besides clowns has terrible ideas, guys.
Mustard and candy. There you go.
Oh, I hate mustard.
Ketchup and candy. Ketchup and chocolate.
Stop
no.
it. You'll ruin
Ketchup and chocolate. Yes!
No.
Vote.
No.
The Flemish experience, ketchup and chocolate. All right. So, we're getting down to the celebrity on the panel.
My headset may go dead in the middle of this.
The
so
dancing pineapple. Paul, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, CerebralPaul1, Twitch at CerebralPaul. Speaking of, I decided to stay up this late. I'm actually streaming Jedi Survivor when it goes live in a couple hours, which will be midnight my time. And then on Tuesdays, you can find me on Retro Renegades. Wednesdays, you can find me as soon as Spooky's feeling better. We're going to be back to doing the Backlog Bastards Thursday right here on 4GQ TV. Friday on the name of the show that I can never remember because... Yeah. Well, because it's not a Doomsayers Network. Friday's Doomsayers. Sundays on the Flemish Experience. And I think that's it. And of course, Mondays on the Xbox Ambassador channel for Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul.
Nice. Animated Evil. Where can people find you, my friend?
Yes, so on a Thursday, of course, 4GQ TV, where you're watching right now. Sundays, usually, the Flemish Experience. Unfortunately, this week again, I can't make it, same as last week. I'm sorry, Flemish. Don't sulk.
Happens.
It happens. Life takes over. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at animated_evil. That's about it, really. And I'm dying. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I figured we were getting there, man. Yeah. PK, where can people find you?
Yo, again, thanks for everybody coming out. You can definitely find me here on 4GQ TV. I'll be on Dragon's Den Saturday, maybe. I actually got to study for exam, so I'm going to be cutting some time short until I can get that done.
Yeah, you gotta study. You don't gotta be on a show.
I do gotta study. That's no joke. But we got some interviews coming up, and we definitely got to get that knocked out as well. So just stay tuned. We got some other projects coming along. I think Cozy's gonna be a part of that new project as well. So just it's gonna be a lot of great stuff coming down. So keep tuned. Yep. Make sure you share and subscribe so everyone and their mama come and check us out. Thanks.
And grandmother, mother, grandmother, cousin, fourth cousin, fifth cousin, sixth cousin. You know how it goes. Anyway, you can all find me on 4GQTV. I've been uploading some more stuff lately. Got some more cosplayer stuff up. Did a reaction video. Did a news piece opinion video. And we have some interviews coming up. We just got to get everything scheduled between PK's test and Paris has been busy doing some stuff as well. He's going to hop on some of those interviews. And you can find me on Flamish Experience. You can find me on Retro Renegades on Tuesdays. And there was something else I want to say, but I know I'm going to forget it. Oh, yeah, Yobi, you're going to like what's coming up. We are doing we're working on an all-female podcast.
You ain't supposed to tell nobody, man.
No, that's it. That's all I'm saying.
Gosh.
All right.
And then next month we will have a special show with a developer on the show for Global Accessibility Awareness Day, which will be May 18th.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the day of the show. So I thought I'd just throw that out there now, but we are doing that.
Is there an acronym?
That's awesome.
It's called GAD.
What?
GAAD, GAD.
All right, throw that away. Start over.
No, that's
that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's the name for the Accessibility Day.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learn something new every day.
Wow, PK.
And for those that missed it, I interviewed this lady on my ambassador show last week, and it was a great interview. And if you want to go to the Xbox Ambassador YouTube or Twitch channel, you can find it there. So Carlo was there for part of it. He knows.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone, thank you for coming out, hanging out with us. Turn Hero, Spooky, Trinity, Dragonheart, Yobi, Charlie Hustle, and I'm sorry if I forget anybody else. I apologize. My memory's not good. Anyway, thank you. See you guys next week. And just have fun playing video games, man. Enjoy Jedi Survivor releasing. Later.
See ya.